Hey there, UKDCers. Today I have four-ish knives to show you. I'm doing them all in the same video because they're essentially just different size versions of the same product. These were lent to me by Carl Pearson, British EDC on Instagram. Go and check him out if you can. Thank you very much for the lend, sir. And these are actually, well, this big one here is a knife I've had for a very long time on my keychain and have only recently retired because I was reviewing this Heine Haynes Bocker Plus Rocket, and I have now put a Victorinox SD, like classic SD, on there because I like the toothpick of the tweezers. I found myself needing tweezers at work before, so it's nice to have those. That said, this was my keychain knife. This is the most EDC'd knife I have. I EDC'd this relentlessly on my keys for about 6 years, 5 years, something like that. And it has seen quite a lot. I've had this out at, supermarkets, just random shops on the street, unlocking things with the other keys and that lot, and no one has ever batted an eye at this. So I've been super happy with this. This one is the Grasshopper, and there you go. There is the modern version of the Grasshopper. So let's get all of these out. This little dinky one is called the Bug. There you go. And I already know this one is the Honeybee, which is the middle size one. So there you go. Three options. So number one, I'll do my experiences with the big one, since I can sort of actually say for that, since I've genuinely carried it. And this has been just great. It's just about big enough to really, get in there if you need it to do a fairly serious job, but really isn't big enough to offend anyone, or at least not that I found. Your mileage may vary depending on who lives in your town or such, but they're absolutely great keychain knives, or just spare pocket knives, or whatever you want to do with them. And you've got the absolute option of how inoffensive you want to go, I suppose. You can go from the big boy here, the Grasshopper, all the way down to, if you just think you might occasionally need to open a box, I mean, it's going to do the job. It's very tiny. You can only fit 2 fingers on it. But this will absolutely open a box or part of the occasional parcel, which is really what you need a keychain knife for anyway. Just cutting a bit of string. Of course, there's also the Honeybee if you sort of want to be in the middle. They come in those very nice presentable cases, which incidentally make them quite a good inexpensive gift if you're looking for something like that. And they're right on, like the Honeybee is almost exactly the same size as a Spyderco SD. The Grasshopper is quite a bit bigger. And of course the Bug is, the handle is a lot smaller. I don't think I'd ever EDC the Bug because it is very, very small. But like I said, I have EDC'd the Grasshopper. It comes with this wonderful brushed steel finish. You get China, Spyderco, and your steel type. Interestingly, they're now made out of 12C27, whereas they used to be made out of 8CR13 MOV when I bought this one. So very easy to sharpen, whichever one you end up with. I think they have just switched full on over to 12C27 now. You can one hand open just the grasshopper if you really try. Ugh, good grief! I've done it before. There you go. But it's really not intended to. It's intended to open, two-handed. This is quite a slippy grip, although I don't know if that's just because it's old. The new one, which appears to have more severe chamfering, actually locks up quite nicely, whereas my old one is a little slippy. There you go. I don't know if you can see you can see mine's flatter near the edge here. This portion here is a lot flatter than this nice curved one here. You can sort of see this one's actually a little bit longer at the back as well, along with a smaller lanyard hole, although that could have been just where my split ring's been, spinning around in there and enlarging that hole. But yeah, this chamfer here does seem to be bigger than this one. You can see it's just a hair longer at the end there. The new one appears to have a bigger spring as well. That could just be the chamfering again. Let's see how centering is a little off on that one, on my old one. Spot on. Let's have a look at these teeny tiny ones. Yeah, that's dead on. Again, it doesn't really matter at this price point. These are very cheap little knives and spot on. But it's nice to just see. So 3 out of 4 ain't bad. You get a nice little Spyderco logo on each of them. There's not really much else to say. I really see this. Like I said, it's never been a main knife for me. I didn't have a main knife for many years. I sort of had one, and then I was told at my job, do not bring that into work. Still brought this one in though, and then sort of years later, started bringing some other ones in, and no one seemed to care anymore. So it's all cushy. But yeah, this one is, the OG, I guess. And it served its time. It served very well. I don't regret buying it at all. I think I bought this from Heine Haynes actually way back when. And they're still available now. You can also occasionally get these all 3 as a gift set. One thing that I would say is on this one here, Carl's new one, is, I don't know how obvious that is, but can you see those like brown spots like around the spider? You sort of see them in the light there, those little dots. That to me looks like rust pitting, and I thought these were stainless steel handles, but perhaps not. Now, my one from back in the day, it is battered, don't get me wrong, but it's not got any rust on it. I don't know if they've changed the handles to not be rust proof anymore, or if that's something else and I'm just misinterpreting it, but that looks very rust-like to me, like just tiny little spots of it. Maybe Carl lives near a body of water or something, but you're never too far from it in the UK anyway. But yeah, a bit of a disappointment. I have moved on to the SD just because, you get this toothpick, you get this, and you get a pair of scissors, which is just, I mean, just to have one of these on your keyring it's just so helpful. Plus, if you really don't like having a knife, you can get a little slip that goes over it, and that will disguise what it is. But yeah, there you go, the Spyderco sort of pocket series. Great inexpensive little knives to just chuck on whatever. You could throw these on a zipper on your backpack if you really wanted. This teeny little one, as long as you know you're thoughtful enough to remove it if you're ever going to the airport. Otherwise, you're going to get it confiscated. Although I'm sure they wouldn't cry too much about it, especially given the price. But yeah, great little users these. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.